Are you there?
Hi,
Hi.
nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
You look beautiful.
Thank you. So do you.
Thanks. You always look great. I appreciate you taking the time to meet with me today.
Oh, I'm so looking forward to this, Heather. Thank you.
Good. Well, Linda, you have quite a history with my family. And so, my question for you is how has the McDougall program changed your life?
Oh, well, no, it didn't change my life, honey. It saved my life. I would have been dead at least 30 years ago. I'm sure of it because the way I was headed, I had had a big lump in my breast about a few months earlier before I met your father. And the doctor took, it was the size of a golf ball. And the doctor took it out. And I said, "Do you think it has anything to do with my diet?" And he said, "Oh, no, your diet's fine. I ate chicken and fish and cottage cheese and ice cream and, the standard American diet. I didn't eat steak so much, but I ate fish because that was supposed to be the health food, right?" So um, he said, "No, that's fine." Well, I moved to a new neighborhood in Sacramento, and my new neighbor, we were walking our dogs around the park, and I was telling her about all my health issues. I was a graphic designer, but I was also an aerobic instructor, teaching almost 25 classes a week. And I thought I couldn't eat healthier, I couldn't exercise more. I thought, what could be wrong with me? And I was telling her I had heart disease, terrible heart disease. I mean, 358 cholesterol. I had 50 pounds extra on me, which didn't make sense because I was an aerobic instructor and a personal trainer, so a fat one. And I um, thought I was eating the healthy diet. So I told her about my heart disease, my cancer. I then had thyroid cancer. And unfortunately, I met your father 1 week too late because my doctor had me do one radiation on the cancer before I met your dad. Had I met him 1 week earlier, I would never have done that one radiation because that meant now I have to take thyroid medication. But he wanted me to keep going and do chemotherapy as well. And then I said, I'm not doing that because I had then met Dr. John McDougall. And he said, Who? And I said, Well, my neighbor told me about him and said that everything would go away if I just followed him. And I did, and it did. So, but even just 2 weeks later, I told my doctor, no, I'm not doing that. And he said, then we should take it out, Linda. And I said, no, I'm not doing that either. I'm following Dr. John McDougall now. So thank you very much. Goodbye. And I went ahead and followed. Now, I wasn't doing it perfectly at first because I was a newer vegan. I was eating, like the vegan hot dogs and processed food, a little bit of oil here and there, sugar, of course, and just not a very healthy. I was more of a processed food vegan for the first few years. But then I wasn't losing all the weight either. And I couldn't get rid of it. And I thought, what's something? So I went back and looked at Mary and John's website, started following Mary's recipes, and did the 12-day book program that I had. And that's when it all started to change for me. And I even cleaned it up more after I met AJ. I was I was SOS free even. So, but anyway, mostly I'm just mostly oil free, mostly sugar free. I mean, I'm completely oil free, but some sugar creeps in now and again. And salt, very little. I don't salt anything, but it comes in certain foods. So, but with that, I lost my severe heart disease. I lost my cancer, completely gone. My thyroid, I have to take medication, which has its own complications, and he can't do anything about that. I mean, it is what it is. But I lost the 50 pounds. I feel so light on my feet. I'm 5'8" and 119 pounds, which is really good, I think.
Yeah.
And I am very strong because I'm still a personal trainer and an aerobic instructor. And so I got these muscles, baby. I don't know if you can see them,
Nice.
but I'm
Yeah.
strong. I'm very strong. And people think you can't be strong on a whole food plant diet. Well, yes, you can. And I'm proof of that. And I can now
And
do,
can you tell us how old you are? Because that's
I'm
really
78 going on, I don't know, 12. I feel I feel like a kid, and that's because of your father's work and Mary's recipes. I mean, really, between the two of them, I am here and healthy and vibrant today. I
you
have,
look it.
oh, thank you. I've never felt better in my life. And I've, had him as a speaker myself many times. And then, of course, then COVID came and we couldn't have him anymore. But I know he's glad about that because I know they don't like to travel anymore. But I think I'm going to be speaking at something he's speaking at, which is the biggest honor ever in Cleveland.
Oh,
He's doing
wow.
it virtually, but this is the biggest honor I've ever had in my life is to have his picture not too far from mine. I mean, that is like, wow, is that really true? So,
I
anyway,
love it.
but I hope that I can inspire other people. All my clients have to buy his books. So I know I sell a lot of his books. I do.
Well, you're
Because,
doing great things. I mean, you haven't just changed your health, you're also educating others, right?
yeah, no, it happens all the time, and people lose the weight. They feel great. I've had diabetes reversals. I'm a Food for Life instructor also with Dr. Neil Bernard, and that helps too. It gave me some confidence in knowing what I was talking about. And I've seen people reverse their diabetes type 2.
Amazing.
It is just amazing. They thought they were going to have their legs cut off, and now they're free of diabetes. I mean, I know diabetes is on the rise. I know obesity is on the rise, and I know that cancer is on the rise, and there's no reason for it. And then one thing I like that your dad always says is, he said, most people want to feel good. They want to look their best as well. And when you look your best and you feel your best, you're more likely to be hired for things. You're more likely to have more friends. You're more likely to attract wonderful people in your life. And it's true. And I have so many wonderful friends now. Um, and I don't think I would have managed that as well in my old lifestyle. It wasn't good. I didn't feel good. I had no energy, even though I was trying to pretend like I did, teaching all those classes every week. And now I can outjump some of my 35-year-olds. Yep.
I love
So
that.
it just feels so good to feel good. And I owe my life, my complete life, to your family. And now you're helping too. It's just wonderful. I hope this
Thanks, Linda.
program goes forever because it's so needed. It's so needed around the world. Um, I think it's changing, starting to change a little bit now. We just have to have it move a little faster, that's all. Because I want your children to be okay, right? I mean, we're not going to have a planet here unless we do something about using 45% of our land for livestock. And our water and our oceans are going to be gone if we don't change our eating habits and our lifestyle. So I'm so happy your dad is also talking about lifestyle and climate change
It's
as
important.
well. Because, and I know he loves animals. I know it. I just know it. Yeah.
He does. So let's see, you had been doing so well following the McDougall program, yet you still decided to sign up for our 12-day online course. How
I
come?
wanted to see exactly what and how you were doing it because I know whatever he does is successful. And I loved it. And I had also been eating a lot of high caloric dense foods. And I had gained some weight. And I was pissed off because I thought I was eating pretty healthy. But when I looked at it, your program made me look at what I was doing on a daily basis. And somehow that cashew cheese and cashew ice cream was slipping into my slipping into my diet and way too much guacamole, right?
Mhm.
You can really the nuts and seeds like your father said needs to be in moderation. They're supposed to be hard to get into, not all processed up so you can just swallow it. And so it really helped me a lot to take off the extra pounds. I did not a lot, but enough to make me angry and not feel good. So now I feel just fantastic because I know exactly what to do now because I did the program. And whenever I gain a pound or even 1 pound or 2 pounds, I'm right back on your program. I'm doing the program that you taught me. So it's so helpful for even experienced people like myself. I've been doing this for 34 years. So, and had I not run into my neighbor who just happened to tell me as we were walking the dogs around the park, oh, by the way, those will all go away if you just find out about Dr. John McDougall.
I love that.
And I hadn't even met him. I never met him. I just did it on my own because I thought, oh, this makes sense. Because in that book, the 12-day program that he had, he showed this person with cancer and this person now with no cancer, diabetes, no diabetes, obesity, no obesity. I mean, I saw the change for myself and I knew it couldn't be a lie. So I knew that he was onto something, that he knew what he was talking about. And he did, and he does. And every time I listen to him, I learn about 10 more things that I didn't know. So I listen to everything I can, especially on AJ, um, so I don't miss anything because it's thrilling to know. Well, he's so smart. He remembers like, oh, in the May 14th newsletter on page
Right.
two,
I don't know
I
how he
can
does
tell
that.
I can tell you where to find that. How did he do that? His memory, there's nothing wrong with his memory.
Right.
So, and then Mary, she's so supportive of everything he does and feeds him herself.
They, they make a
And so
good
it's just
team.
lovely to see their love connection too. Because I think when you feel good about yourselves, you also, your connections are better with your spouse or your partner or whomever.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
anyway, I think because of it, even everybody has loss in their lives, and I lost my husband 8 years ago. And the only reason I'm still happy and doing okay is because I have a purpose and I feel so good.
Mm,
And so people can get through their losses as hard as they are and as horrifying as they are and as heartbreaking as they are. If you have the friendships, number one, and also the love for yourself and your friends, you can get through this life and feel good about it and grow old gracefully and grow old with lots of energy and be just vibrant. It feels so good. I like to show off how strong I am whenever I can, you know.
I
So if
love
I can do
that.
10 more push-ups than the person next to me, I will do it. So anyway,
That's great. Well, you look wonderful, and
thank
I'm just
you.
so happy for you. You've accomplished so much,
Well,
and your words are so inspiring.
thank you so much, Heather, and thank you for keeping this program alive and keeping it going because it's vital, and I will help promote it every way I can.
Thank
Every
you.
way I can.
Your support's so important.
Thank you. Thank
Thanks,
you so much.
Linda.